And usually I don't get a lot of Twitter notifications, and it was like plus 20. And I'm like, okay, what's going on? Did I piss somebody off?
Yeah.
Who did I offend this time? And I was just like, wait, what? Monty Williams got let go because my dumbass made a 14-minute video of the Mark Stein report thinking he was coming back. And I look like a complete jackass, and I will own that right now for people that are watching or listening. I was wrong. I think we were all wrong. I don't think anyone knew what was going on.
Don't beat yourself up about it. I mean, Mark Stein is one of the well-respected NBA reporters, a guy that's been tapped in with many organizations for, I guess you say, 25, 30 years, maybe longer. And he felt he had a good authority according to his sources. But as we're reading now, and then the reports that are starting to come out more and more, it's just that Trajan Langdon and Tom Gorse were both on the same page about the decision to part ways with Monty Williams, and Gorse delivered the final blow within the past 24 hours, and Langdon delivered the news this morning.
It's honestly like I know me and you have been talking like back and forth probably for the past month. Like, when is this press conference going to be? Like, when is it going to happen? Because like I feel like Langdon got hired over a month ago.
Yes.
And it's been the $1 million question, like what's going to happen with the head coaching situation. Obviously, we have that news now. What I wanted to do is I actually made a list about a week ago. And of course, I got roasted for it because people didn't think Monty Williams was going to get fired. I did want to put the list on the screen for you, and you could react to some of the coaches that I think that they could possibly target. So this is a list that I made, and you can kind of react to these coaches that I put on the screen.
Okay. Kenny Atkinson, I'm not so sure about. Possible. Chris Quinn, I think that would be a major coup for them, just off of the history that he's had, the things that he's done with the Miami Heat. James Borrego, I know that wouldn't excite probably many fans given his previous stops, but given that we've seen Langdon hire a lot of guys that he's comfortable with, wouldn't shock me. Jamel McMillan, I mean, hey, if you're going to fire Monty Williams, I don't see McMillan. I would be shocked if McMillan actually returns as coach of the Crews. Who knows? Very possible. I mean, they didn't really do that bad of a job. So, but the one that is the real wild card here for me would be JJ Redick. JJ's a Tellum client. The Lakers hire has, while reports have been out there that the Lakers hire is official. We haven't heard any reports yet of it actually happening. So JJ, and I would say JJ, Chris, and James would be those are three that I would kind of like keep an eye on.
Yeah, I know, like the Lakers thing is weird. Like, 1 minute it's like, yeah, JJ's been, I think I saw a report that he's like officially going to be the head coach. And then I watched Shams Charania on Pat McAfee saying, like, well, it's like nothing's like really officially official. Plus to what you said, like the talent connection is a real thing. Because Trajan was a former client of Arntellum. JJ Redick was a former client of Arntellum. I think he's the media darling, the one popular name that you hear among like a lot of just like national media people talk about head coaching jobs. I wouldn't be surprised by it. The Borrego one, I think some people, they're a little bit underwhelmed. You talk to Pistons fans. I mean, you talk head coach. Who's the first name you think that pops up?
I mean, some of them. Well, depends on which Pistons fans I'm talking to. There's still some people out there holding hope for a Mark Jackson return. So, I mean, but obviously, so I mean, it's a mixed bag. But I will say, of the Pistons fans that I've talked to, a guy that they would love to see take that position would be Chris Quinn. I think that he's the real favorite. Just that he's young. You see the work that he's the Miami Heat and how they've been, and I mean, I think he would be a slam dunk hire for them, especially just given this late of how things are. Because I think that's the real shocking thing about the Monty Williams dismissal. It's not the fact that he was fired. I mean, when you look at the track record, 14-68, the franchise worst record, a 28-game losing streak. The decisions with the lineups were not favorable. I mean, the decision to play Keelan Hayes over Jake Ivey initially was a head scratcher for some. Some of the ways that Isaiah Stewart may have been kind of confusing for some. The way James White, the way that a lot of these players were used, it was you can kind of just go down the list. The way that a lot of these players were used was kind of confusing for people like myself and you. So the decision to move away from him was not entirely that shocking. I think the most thing that was shocking so far of this is how late it is, because I mean we are less than we are under what 6-7 days away from the draft. So I think that's the real shocking part of everything. But I mean, end of the day, you have to give kudos to Tom Gores in this regard. He's eating 65 million to send Monty Williams packing. This wasn't a buyout where you would go where you agree on terms of, okay, we're gonna let you go and this is how much you walk away with. No, we're firing you and you're gonna go home with 65 plus $1 million. That is whether you love Tom Gores, whether you hate him, that is a heck of a move, in my opinion. That signals we're trying to change things around. And again, we being you both read so far, Langdon and Gores were lockstep on this decision. So it's looking like this is about to be Langdon's show. And honestly, it makes a lot of sense too. Because when you hire a president of basketball operations, you want to and you're gonna give this guy full autonomy. Okay, you have to let him bring his people in. This is how this thing works. So now you got rid of Troy Weaver. Now you got rid of Monty Williams. Now Langdon, when he goes out there in that press conference, and me and you talked about this, Anthony. Why are they not having this press conference right now? My opinion was at that time they're going to go out there day one when he has that introductory press conference. He doesn't have to answer questions about Weaver's future. He doesn't have to answer questions about Williams' future. That day, when you finally hear him speak, you will know where the two guys stand and what the direction he's going to head in with this team. And again, the timing of everything was a little murky, but the way they went about it is you can say it's sound.
Yeah, this from what we know, just like going back on recent history, this organization doesn't do anything swiftly. They're very I don't want to say they're slow with stuff, but I think a lot of people assumed as soon as Langdon took the job that Weaver and Monty would be gone within like 24 hours of the ink drying on his contract. Which there's a lot to do. When new guys come in, obviously he's got to move his family, a lot of decisions. You have the draft, like you said, less than a week. You got free agency. You can agree with free agents. You're free agents, like you have to decide what you're going to do with Fontecchio. There's a lot to do, which I was kind of under the assumption of why we haven't gotten a press conference, because there's a lot for him to do.